More is less when it comes to decluttering. I know you thought you heard me wrong. You thought I was going to say less is more. But the answer is more is less. The more of something you have, the less value it brings to you in your life. I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today we are in the Clutter Corner, and I'm going to leave a playlist right up here of different videos we have about the Clutter Corner, what it is, and how it's changing our relationship with stuff. You can watch that next. Now, what we are doing today is we are looking at envelopes. And I have with me 8 boxes of 100 envelopes. So I've got 800 envelopes here. And if I open up the box, we're going to find that these are all brand new envelopes. None of these have ever been used. They're completely unmarked. They've been in a climate-controlled storage unit that the woman's been paying $400 a month so she can store these envelopes. And she is saving them so that she can write thank you notes to all of her friends that do her kind deeds. I know. She's got 5 cases of envelopes just like this. The more you have of something, the less value it brings to you. And what happened was this. There was a time when she would take an envelope, someone would do something kind for her. It might be her landscaper. She would write a thank you note. Oh, dear landscaper, my yard looks so amazing. My neighbors are envious. Here's a little check, a little extra tip for all of your kind labor. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help. And she would send it to him in the mail. That was a lovely gesture. But what happened when she bought out the store, as they had the closeout sale of all the envelopes, is it became overwhelming to her to have 5 cases of envelopes, because what that represented to her is that each one of these had to be a thank you note that she gave away, or that she paid someone money, or that she put expensive postage on in order to get the value from this, okay? So it's something she used, so she thought, well, I will use these one day. They're not going to go out of style, so I will hang on to them. Truth be known, though, they did go out of style. When I asked her about her habits for sending thank you notes, what has changed over the years is she now sends a text, and she Venmos or Cash Apps the tip to the landscaper. So she's not sending the thank you notes anymore. So she's got 5 cases of envelopes that she said I could have for free. I don't want them either, but she said I could have them for free or I could give them away. And I'll probably try to find a school or something that can use them. I don't have a use for them, but who knows? All right, the more we have of something, the less value it provides. Now, when I was young, my grandfather had a really nice wristwatch. And it was one that he purchased himself. It wasn't a hand-me-down, but it's one he saved for over and over and over during the course of his life. And money was kind of scarce, so he'd take a little bit of money and a little bit of money and a little bit of money until he could afford this really nice watch. And it was a fancy watch by a particular watchmaker where the watch would never lose time and you didn't need to wind it. Just the body movement of it being on your wrist would wind the watch by itself. But what happened, because he had only one watch, every time he looked down to see the time, there was a sense of pride, like, I worked so hard for this. And he really appreciated it and he really valued it because it was only one watch. Now, at a different part of my life, I met a man who had over 100 watches. He had a collection of watches. The more he had, the less value it meant to him. Now, this man had spent a fortune on his watches as well. The difference was by wearing it one day at a time, like I'll wear a watch today, tomorrow I'll wear a different watch, the next day I'll wear a different watch. I got to go through all these different watches to get my money's worth because he had this whole collection. And he did wear them, but he wore them for a day at a time. And so there never was that, oh, look at all the money and the investment and this attachment that I have to this thing. It just kind of came like, I got a new watch for today. The more you have of something, the less value it brings to you. And so the concept of less is more. The less stuff you have, the more value it brings. The more you have, the less value it brings, right? So it's a concept that I want us to start thinking of in terms of what are the things we have in our homes? And I don't want you to get rid of all your stuff, but let's put a cap on it. Let's say that there are 7 days in a week. And if you were going to have 7 wristwatches and you wore a different wristwatch every day, it is possible you could have a Monday watch or a Tuesday watch or a Wednesday watch. And then every Wednesday you're like, oh, I get to wear that watch again. And it would still have some value to you because now you're looking forward to that day of the week when you get to wear that wristwatch. Do you have 30 pairs of jeans inside your closet? And if you do you need 30 pair of jeans? Because I'll tell you this, most people, even if they got 30, 40, 50 pairs of jeans, they tend to wear the same 3 or 4 pair over and over and over again. When they go to a restaurant and there are a whole bunch of choices, they tend to order the same meal over and over and over again. And we have a tendency as humans to kind of narrow down our choices because of decision fatigue. You go into the kitchen cupboard and you open the cupboard. And if there are more than 7 coffee mugs, how on earth are you going to choose a coffee mug for today? We tend to use the same 1 or 2 coffee mugs over and over and over again, right? We don't need 42 coffee mugs in the kitchen cupboard. We just don't. So the more you have of something, the less value it means to you. So I want us to stop and just put a cap on it for 7. 7 coffee mugs should kind of be the limit. And I know that's still pretty excessive, but we got to start somewhere. And so 7 is a fair number. Here's the homework assignment for this week. Let's go look around and figure out what's in the closet. Do I have 500 shirts, but I only wear the same 5, 6, 7? Let's narrow it down to the 7 that we wear on a rotating basis. Let's narrow the jeans down to 7 pair. Let's narrow the bathrobes we have down to 7 bathrobes. Like, how many can we wear at a time, right? We'll narrow it down so that it makes sense to us, and the things that we have, we start to value. All right, my question is, what is in your life that you have so much of or too many of that you don't value them anymore? More is less. The more you have, the less you value it. So we're going to start narrowing those things down and giving ourselves permission to kind of just get rid of many of those things and then only value the things that we keep. All right, that's it for today. If you have questions or comments, those go in the notes below. Don't forget the playlist on the Clutter Corner. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.